Oi, oi, hello and welcome to another video. Now, it's been a few weeks since I posted on the Chelt Mental channel. I'm sure plenty of you are getting recommended content from the gg.co.uk channel instead. So, just going to give you guys a bit of an update on where I'm at and what the plans are for this upcoming jump season. We are now into October. Chepstow's season opener is coming up this Friday and Saturday. And last year I tried a few things out. So, yeah, I like to try and be transparent with you guys, let you know where I'm at. So let's do that here. I'm also going to talk about in this video a little tiny bit about the official ratings at the end of last season. I did a video a couple of years ago saying about the state of British horse racing and why the Irish are going to dominate for the foreseeable future. Well, it's now 2 years on since that video, and everything that I said would happen is happening. So we'll quickly look at those bans. It doesn't matter. There's nothing we're going to do about it, but it does mean that as we're looking forward to the season, we've got to set realistic expectations, for what's going to happen. So basically, spoiler alert, the Irish are going to be even more dominant than ever before, which sounds mad to think considering how dominant they already are, but it's only getting worse. So we'll come on to that. That's using some BHA and IHRB official ratings. So this is all freely accessible. I'll send you, or I'll show you the links in the description so you can go check stuff out if you want to too. But as it comes for content, obviously, please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you are, make sure you've got the notification bell on as well, because then you will be told when I upload a video, because I do like to be consistent. YouTube is all about that. They love it in the algorithm if you're uploading regular content. And this season, I'm going to try to be as consistent as I possibly can, but me being consistent this season will be, well, it won't be as hard and fast as saying I'm going to upload this day, this time, this length of video. So Ranting and Racing, sadly, will not be back this season. Brainchild of Daryl Carter, wasn't it, a couple of years ago? We started doing that. He moved on to Pastures New at Betfair. Jamie kindly stepped in last season. We did that. It was good. It was good success. Got nominated for an award thing as well, which I was a bit staggered about, or at least was in the running for that. But so so it's not been like a quick overthought of just thinking, oh, well, I want to get rid of that. It's not the first thing that I was thinking of doing, but a lot of you will know that 2023, the back end of that, I was made redundant. I've talked about it before on here, not to dwell on that. I had a lot of stuff going on in 2023, like pretty shit year is no other way to say it. But look, it's best part of a year on since then. And I've mentioned that this was an opportunity for me to try and see if I could make horse racing my sole income. You'll have seen from when I share all my bets, and at the end of the season, the few grand that I might make a year is, well, not to be sniffed at, but it's not going to be an income, is it? I'm not going to be able to make enough through punting or even the trading bits that I do. So look, I'm in the search for up in the content that I'm doing. I'm very grateful to the opportunities that GG have given me. I get to do quite a bit with them, really enjoying that. And I think we're helping to sort of grow together on there. So that has been a big focus. There's a few other opportunities that are on the horizon as well that I'm trying to make work for me. So with that said, that is my priority for now. So this YouTube channel, I'm still going to be uploading regularly on here. I really enjoyed it and appreciate your guys' support, because, without these types of platforms, I might not have the, I guess, the authority to pitch myself to some of these companies that I'm trying to get work with, and with confidence, because I know that I can be successful with those people. But it does just mean that I have my son more than half the time as well. I'm a single person, got a mortgage to pay, got all like the normal adult responsibilities. But when it comes to creating the content-y type stuff, if I'm doing it just on my own, I can record it after the boy goes to school, or after I get back from the gym in the afternoons when declarations come out at, say, 11 or 12 o'clock. I can do it as and when I can upload it, and that means that I can sustain the YouTube content. When it comes to the work bits that might be coming in, if someone says to me they want me to do X, Y, and Z, then that would take priority over me getting a video out. So with collaborating with other people, it's not a little bit fair, because I don't want to say to someone every 2 minutes I'm changing the time. But before, when I was working the normal sort of 9 to 5 job, I had evenings and weekends that were free. Still takes its toll every Monday night doing the Ranting and Racing for 20-something weeks, preparing for it, doing it for the hour, potentially uploading, responding to comments, things like that. Like, I enjoy doing it, don't get me wrong. But it may be the case now on a Monday, can't lie, I'm just tired and I might want to go to bed, or, there'll be things that I would rather be doing than pushing that out. So hate to say it like that, but is what it is. and we are where we are with that. So look, it doesn't mean that it won't ever come back. It just means at the moment that I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm earning enough money from doing this so that we can continue doing it. And then further down the line, once I get a bit more comfortable, a bit more routine and all those types of things, then I can probably bring some of those things back. So this is where you guys, I do appreciate your support. If there's anything that you would like prefer me to do or not to do in what I'm about to elaborate on, then do drop it in the comments below. But I'm trying to just get out as the sort of, I think the best stuff I can get out, the stuff I think is worth some value. And if it's not, and it's not interested, or you guys don't want to see it, then I'll take that back as well. Because again, I just want to focus on making sure that I can do this long term. That is the plan. But obviously, if it doesn't pay enough money at the end of the day, then I'll have to think about other things. But anyway, we're not talking about that now. We're talking about what's coming up for the jump season. So I said I'm going to go on to the official ratings band. We will pull that up in a second. A couple of visuals I'll pull up on the screen. The plan really for content is going to be, I did all my bets last season. I think they went down quite well. I know I could do it as a point system, and I like to share my bets out there. Probably gets me in trouble because people are getting to see what I'm staking each week. But I'm still happy with doing it in that concept. What we will do this year is I'm going to get a Google document uploaded, just a very basic Excel spreadsheet. I have my own profit and loss table, which I'm going to share in another video. If people want that, then I don't know, I might charge you for it if you want me to maintain and put stuff in there, because it's quite a fancy little database. Or if I give you a basic model, then I don't know, I'll put that on a Google document too. But I'll share my bets each week. People like it in the description because they can't be bothered to watch the whole video, which, you know, takes all sorts, doesn't it? But I'll share a Google link, and in that link, that will say to you, this is the race, this is the horse, this is how much I'm staking, and this is the point that I'm going to stake it at. And sometimes when I do these videos, I'll share my slips, won't I, of what I've staked. I'll be doing less of that, I think, because these videos are going to be coming out early enough that I may not have struck all my bets. On the spreadsheet, I will basically say this has been placed or yet to be struck. And then the profit and loss will update off of the back of that, rather than me screen sharing all my accounts as I've done in the past, because the numbers on the spreadsheet won't match up to what's online, because I may have other bets in there. I may be laying or trading some of the prices I've got. I'll be doing other bits and pieces. So with me sharing a sheet, it would never be the same if I showed you my accounts. Plus, I do lots of bets in shops as well, so you couldn't hold me to account with what I said to you I've bet in there. I could say I've only had 100 quid and I might have had £1,000 in there, so my profit and loss wouldn't be accurate. So we'll do it off the spreadsheet. So that's the first thing that'll be in there. I've been doing those sort of once a week in the jump season. It does depend on what I'm betting on or how many bets I've got, but I'm tempted to just put it out. Even if I've only got a couple of bets, I'll share it with you guys as well. And typically I would bet Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially for the jump season, and I might have a couple of midweek ones as well. So I'll commit to, there'll be at least a couple of videos a week. I'll share my Saturday bets, I'll share my Friday bets, my Sunday bets. Each week there'll be multiple of those. So like I say, make sure you subscribe and that notification bell's on. If you don't hear from me on that front, it means I'm not having a bet. Sometimes I may have some smaller amounts of them, and I could potentially just do a video to update you guys and say, look, this is what I'm thinking. So whatever it is, I'll do some sort of video if there's bets on my mind. Will be very few breaks taken through this jump season, but yeah, finding your feet a bit at the start of the season, see how things are going, isn't it? But anyway, we'll do that. I'm also going to upload my anti-post bets as and when I had them, because I think they went down quite well last year, but I'm going to try and incorporate that as a weekly feature. So each week I'll be sharing with you, I've struck a bet, or if there's no bet that's necessarily on the radar, I will just do an anti-post insight. I've done lots of these in the past where we'll talk about targets for horses, we'll talk about rumors, we'll talk about value in different races, all that sort of stuff. So once a week there will be something Cheltenham Festival related in terms of anti-posty betting, talking about things that have happened in the week, letting us have a little timestamp in the season of where we are. So that should be a pretty good series to go through. So very similar to what I've done in the past, be me talking to you guys about that. And then in terms of the weekend previews, obviously in the past I've done those with people. It's nice to bounce off someone and have someone else's opinions. When I do all my bets, I could probably go into a bit more detail and depth about why I've bet what I've done. So I guess that might be a way to do it. But there also may be a case for some of the bigger meetings that I might decide, look, when it's coming up to November meeting, I don't want to wait for final declaration to tell you what my early thoughts are. So I might do an earlier preview. But I do like to do it at Dex. Like I say, with the boy in school and all that sort of stuff, and me fiddling stuff about, if I don't have to collaborate with someone, I could just record them in the afternoon and put something out. So there will potentially be some weekend previews coming up as well. So yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of doing in terms of that stuff. So look, like I say, appreciate your guys' support. Puts a little line in the sand to start the beginning of the jump season of me trying to upload some regular stuff. But as I say, I want to be committed to uploading stuff. I understand that's what you guys want, is what you deserve. But if a bigger priority comes up, then screw you guys, but not that bad. I'll make sure I get the all my bet stuff up For sure. We'll jump onto this part as well, the official ratings thing. So a couple of years ago, I talked about this in terms of the Irish versus the British. Obviously, British runners, we have a lot more horses in training. But as you can see, as the bands get higher up, the Irish dominance starts to assert. So pretty much from around the 150 official rating band, Ireland, although they've got fewer horses than us, have far more at the top end. Now, the purpose of that video when I did it before was basically saying to you that, look, if we continue as we are just going to have less and less good horses. And every season, I like to take a line in the sand. I know we'll have performances and all those bits and pieces that are in there about what horses are doing what. But rather than looking at it from a individual horse perspective, I like to look at it holistically, because we're going to have Grey Dawning go off as a short price favourite for a Betfair Chase, which is a Grade 1 in name. He is rated 157. Now, not to be rude, Grey Dawning looks a great horse. Obviously, did a nice little turn in the Turners, but you got a question when a Grade 1 in Britain. I know it's been pants in the past, but you've had Calto Stars, you've had a Plutarch, you've had some good horses that have won this. You know, Bristol Demai going in there and doing it. They're not 157 horses, are they? And this is not to be disrespectful to Grey Dawning, but his performance will go in there because it's a did I say King George? We're talking about the Betfair Chase. I'm sure I said Betfair Chase. Anyway, I mean the Betfair Chase. If it's a performance that wins a Betfair Chase, he's going to get a high rating just off the back of the fact that it is a Grade 1 and it's the type of that. So what I mean by this is, I think there's going to be some very low numbers or low bars to hit for British racing this season. And unfortunately, when we come to the bigger festivals or where there is a clash between the British and the Irish, we're going to come unstuck. So you've got to be mindful of that when you're marking up and down these performances. But again, it's no different to anything that's happened in recent years. You guys will know all this sort of stuff. What I get is the BHA classifications. At the end of each season, they publish this. They haven't uploaded on the BHA site for the last couple of years, but what they'll do is show, if I click this, it should load up somewhere maybe. We have to zoom in a little bit, but it shows you the horses right at the end of the back end of the season for 3 miles, 2.5. Who are the best in terms of rate? And it shows where they're littered. Stars next to them is the Irish, and then the reds, the novices. So it gives you a good feel, like a timestamp at the end of the season. So you can go on the BHA website and get this from Regulation Official Ratings Racing Classifications. If you Google it a bit, you can find the 2022, 2023, and 23, 24 ones that are potentially missing from there. So when I show you these figures in a second, you can sort of go double check yourself. So I am a data person. I export this stuff. I have the BHA figures in here. I have the IHRB figures in here. And then this is a very dirty, very quick little pivot analysis that's gone in here just to show us these rating bands of horses, which we're picking up from these different sheets. Now, on this, I showed you that visual, didn't I, where we had 5 Irish horses. They've still got 5 above 170. They had 24 as 160 plus. They've got 25 now. They had 65 or 68, I think it was 150 to 159. They've now got 72, and it was 105 or 106 in the 140 plus. They've got 115. Ireland are just as strong as ever in those divisions, if not stronger. Britain have fallen by the wayside in every single one of those categories. They've started to drop down in numbers. They were a bit higher than this. They were probably at like 18 or something. I can pull it back up, can't I? Yeah, 3 for 170-ish, 19 for 160, 48, and then 168. So you can see that every category is dropping down. The sad thing with this as well is when I put it into like age bands here, so I'm not going to talk about this in too much detail, but when I put it in age bands in here, if we go to the 160 horses, you can see there that 7 of these 160 horses that are marked on this side for the British horses, and bearing in mind there's 11 of them sat there. We've got, I mean, that's the 160. Yeah, so we've got these horses that are sat there. We've got 7 of the 11 that are going to be 10 or older in January. So not to say that a 10-year-old can't win a race. We can probably be a little bit harsh. Now there's a couple of them, but we're talking about older horses in here now. And then we've got 7-year-old and 3 8-year-olds, right? When we look at the Irish side of things, while they do have some of these higher aged horses in here from the 160 bracket, they've got 8. So 8 of this 30 bucket here for the Irish are going to be 10 or older. And then you look at the younger horses, they have got a lot of strength in depth in younger horses. Like I say, we've got 1 7-year-old that's rated 160 plus. They've got 14. So the next band of horses that are coming through is going to be even more dominance for Ireland. That's the way that it goes. If we scroll this further down, look, there is a bit more of a heat map on this side for them, but still, it's a similar pattern the whole way through it. They've got more strength in depth behind in ages as well. So potentially going to get worse. is what it is, I suppose, isn't it? So look, I do that every single year just to get a stamp of where we are. This isn't to say that any horses can't outdo themselves or can't shine, but British racing's got less and less competitive each season of the last few years. What it takes to win a proper race is not what it used to be. And sadly, it is just the case that if the best horses don't take on the best and they can dodge each other, which they can at the moment, there's about equal grade ones across Britain and Ireland. But, you know, there's not as many horses in Britain to have the grade one caliber, if you know what I mean. So Nicky Henderson, Paul Nicholls, Dan Skelton, I'd do the same if I was a trainer, probably. Why would you go and take on the only other 170 rated horse and run against them when you could just run 2 weeks later at a different track when they won't be? So it's slim pickings. They're doing it for their connections to win, that sort of stuff. The prestige is starting to drop down. I feel like there's, I don't know, something's got to be done to the nature of a race. If you have a grade one that doesn't attract a horse rated in excess of whatever, say it needs 5 horses in excess of 160, it gets demoted to grade 2 status instantly. And then maybe that'll make the best go against the best. Who knows? Don't know how to fix it, but we are where we are. So we're going to have Irish dominance again this season. There's loads of good action coming up, right? Chepstow season opener the Friday and the Saturday. It looks banging. So as much as I am a bit of a snob, I'm 130-ish, 135-ish snob, there's still plenty of depth and there's plenty of volume of horses that could be running in there. Lots of competitive novice chases that are going to go on this season for British horses. Lots of good handicaps are going to come up as well. But it will just be the case that when we get to the top tables, the British horses are just not going to be able to get there. They're not going to be able to stand in good stead. And it's not that we've got all these lower rated horses because they're all handicap plots or they've all got so much more improvement to come in them. They just haven't been going up against each other, have they? But they haven't got the depth to go up against each other. So it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy now. So we are that. So that's sort of the where I'm thinking at the moment. I'll get something out for Chepstow for the 2 days. So Friday and Saturday, I will be betting both those days. Of course, I'll be getting the GG weekend watch out on the Saturday, but that won't encompass all the Chepstow races. But there is good racing at Newmarket as well. 2 days of the Future Champions Festival too. So Friday, Saturday, there'll probably might be some bets on Sunday, but maybe not this weekend. But Friday, Saturday, I'll definitely be having a good few bets. So Wednesday, I will get a video out telling you what I bet on Friday, and then I'll do Thursday for Saturday as well. So you can see all my bets. That'll start the season. That will pretty much be me previewing those races as well. So again, you let me know in the comments, guys. If when I do all my bets, you're happy for me to just give my analysis and talk through the races in those videos, then I'll do that, which means I would be talking about races that I haven't got a bet on. If you'd prefer me to keep those videos purely as the races I've bet on and not talk about any races in general, you know, you might want to know my thoughts on races if I've not had a bet in it, then I can do that, and then I can look to do a sort of preview thing as well. It depends if you want it, right? Ideally, if I did an all my bets video and it encompassed as a preview, that would be, I think, probably the win. Does mean it would be slightly longer, and I'd have to wait it so that if people did just want to see the tips, maybe they took priority at the start of the show. But we can figure that out as we go along. You guys are very supportive on here, so as much as I haven't got the freedom of time that I might have had before, still want to bang some stuff out there, and I've got enough time, if I manage it correctly, to be able to get out some good content still. So I'm not going anywhere. Like I say, the Ante-post stuff's going to be here weekly. I'm trying out some new things with some other people, so fingers crossed we'll get some more stuff out there. Big push this year, really, to see how we can go. That'll kick us on, hopefully, into a successful flat season next year. And then, I don't know, hopefully 12 months' time from now, I'm in a stronger position than I've ever been in. And then we can, you know, we can build this channel even further again. But look, it's going to be slightly different to what it's been before. It's basically going to be me on here rather than any collaborations. I potentially don't have the time. If there are bits, there may be very few ones that are in there. I know it might be what you want. I'm talking about this now like it's definitely set in stone. That is my intention through the jump season. Look, if things change and I can get people involved, or when it comes to, say, Cheltenham previews and all that sort of thing, if I've got the capacity to do other things, I will. But my priority for the short term is focusing on making this my career and making sure we've got enough Queen coming in, which means in turn down the line I can still do this. So yeah, waffling over. Thanks for you that have stuck through and watched this video. Look forward to this season. Look forward to sharing my thoughts. Look forward to hearing your thoughts too. See you again in a couple of days as it stands, and then we're on for Chepstow, aren't we? But be lucky. Again, thanks for the support, and I will see you very soon.